disabled participant to share screen. Please, can you please help me to modify that so I can be able to share the screen, please?
Okay.
All right. So while we wait for that, uh, first of all, I want to say good evening to my brothers, my sisters, and then I trust we all had a great day. You know, not to bore us with too much of greetings tonight. I believe my brother here, DMJ, and then he foresee have done major part of the introductory session, and we have a lot of ground to cover tonight. Even though the time I was given was very, very small, but I've appealed to Mr. Ifosi, so he said I have quite a number of time right now. So well, I believe we can still maximize time and learn more tonight. So if you can hear me clearly, I want you to drop an emoji on the chat box, or you can simply just mute your mic for a few minutes and just say something. Let me be sure I'm not talking to myself. I'm waiting for us. Is anybody there? All right,
Yes,
perfect.
I'm
All
okay.
right, perfect. Please, I'm still waiting for a fix for the screen sharing. I have some slides here that I would like to share with the audience also. All right, so thank you very much. So without wasting much of our time, I want us to go right straight into the teaching tonight. So tonight I'm asked to speak about the strategy was right, but something else was not. I would like to call that a phrase or a sentence. All right. So as we all know, it's not more like or like it's not like a more like a topic. It's a sentence that everybody need to reason. So that's why this night I want us to pick a pen, a jotter, a notepad because tonight is going to be very explosive. All right. So I'm here to have a conversation, to speak to our mindset. I'm not here to teach you anything or to teach you this is how to draw line on the chart and all of that. I'm sure Mr. Fossey is already doing an amazing work like about that. So I'm here to have a conversation, to speak to your mindset. I'm here to speak to your ego and to speak to your emotion. You see, I call this a conversation, because tonight is not really about strategy of a thing, even though the topic also made mention of strategy, that the strategy was right but something else was not. So some of you, right, you do not need another strategy. You need to become the kind of person who can actually follow the strategy you already have. That's just a fact. Of course, I know that is a very uncomfortable conversation because it is more easier, right, to blame a strategy than to confront yourself. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. It is more easier to blame your system, to blame whatever thing that you've learned or a mentor have taught you, than to blame yourself. It is more easier, it is more easier to say that the strategy doesn't work than to say I knew my risk limit. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say. Like you know your risk limit, but you ignore it. So it is more easier to say that the strategy doesn't work than for you to blame yourself that I knew my risk limit, but then I ignored it. And also, it is very, very easier to say the market wanted my stop loss. It will beat me out than to say I enter a trade when I wasn't supposed to enter. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it is even more easier to say the forex market was manipulated, that was a manipulation or something, whereas you know clearly that it was greed that manipulated you. So sometimes, of course, the market really does something unexpected. All right, thank you. I just saw a message that I can share my screen. Oh, perfect, perfect. Just give me selecting my screen now. All right. Can we all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I can
Okay.
see your screen.
Okay, good. Sorry, is the way they do. Anyway, I believe you can read clearly. I'm trying to expand it, but we can still manage this way, right? Is that okay? Or I should expand for us?
Yeah, you can expand if possible, though.
Okay. Then slideshow from the beginning. Is this okay now?
Yes, sir. It is. It is.
All right. Perfect. So, like I was saying, right, sometimes the strategy, you know, or let me say, the market really does something unexpected. Your analysis will genuinely be wrong. I'm not disputing that fact. Or your strategy will lose, right? But tonight, I want us to look at something deeper because sometimes the strategy was right and something else was not always right. Are we following? So that brings us into the uncomfortable truth tonight. So let me tell you something about trading. The market does not know you, right? It does not hate you either. And neither does the market likes you. And it does not know your account balance. That's just a real fact. So the market, the market does not give a damn about you. It doesn't know who you are. It doesn't care about you. So it doesn't know that you have to pay school fees or that you've borrowed the money or that is your last $500. It does not care that you promised yourself that this month you were finally going to become profitable. No, the market has no emotional relationship with you. You are the one bringing the emotion into the market. And that is why trading is so difficult, right? That is the only difficult part of the trading. Let me just put it that way. So you are not really fighting the market most of the times. What you are fighting is yourself. You are fighting your greed. You are fighting your fear. You are fighting your ego. You are fighting your impatience. You are fighting your desperation. Like you are fighting your need to be right. Like I said tonight, I'm not here to teach you, okay, point one, you have to do this, point two, you have to do this and that. I'm here to speak to our mindset, a kind of a thing that brings us into our knees, a kind of word that brings us into a realization that where the major problem lies is within us, not without. Are we getting what I'm trying to say? So your need to recover loss, your inability to accept being wrong, that your inability to sit on your hands, and sometimes like your inability to accept that making money slowly is actually boring. Because let me tell you something, most of the times when you are trying to trade and you just wake up in the morning, you will feel bored and you just enter your MT5, you just press buy. I'm sure everybody here have experienced such a thing before. But making money through trading is actually boring. If you're not ready to be bored, you will make mistakes. You press buy when you're not meant to press buy. You press sell when you're not meant to press sell. And everybody is on this table. Almost everybody on this call right now is on this table. So you see this night there. I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to tell you a step by step on how to become, a disciplined trader, or how to manage your psychology, or something. But I want to drive the class to a level of reflection where you begin to see yourself as the problem and not the market. Are we getting what I'm trying to say now? So the slide three, the what I call that is a system versus execution. So let us simplify what a strategy actually is. So a strategy is simply a set of instructions. It tells you, if this happens, I will enter. If this happens, I will stay out. This is where I am wrong. This is where I want to take my profit. This is how much I'm willing to risk. That is it. Your strategy does not have emotions. It does not wake up angry. And it does not see another trader making $20,000 and suddenly says, I need to make $20,000 today also. So your strategy does not revenge trade or say, I lost this first trade. Let me increase my lot size on next one. You are the one that do that. So that's what I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you that, you see, your own profitability is not the strategy. The strategy is correct. You are the one. Something else is not right. So the strategy only gives some set of instruction, and you are the one who has to obey it. That is where the real battle begins. The battle between you and yourself, not between you and the market. I hope you're all following. And we need to also understand that knowing versus doing are two different things. So this is a two, like, let me say is one of the biggest problem in trading. Most traders already know that. Most traders already know what they are supposed to do, right? Let us be honest with ourselves. If I ask most trader how much are they supposed to risk per trade? Of course, many people will say, I only have to risk 1% per trade. Meaning some will say 0.5% per trade if you're trading a prop firm, and if you're trading your personal capital, like I am not meant to risk more than 10% of my account, right? So if I'm to ask every trader how much they are meant to risk per trade, Everybody knows the answer. Everybody know. If I'm to ask that whether they should revenge trade, you know the answer that you are not supposed to revenge trade. If I should ask that, should you move your stop loss because they do not want to take a loss, they will say no. If I should ask that, should you over leverage your account? They will say no. Whether they should take a trade out of fear of missing out, FOMO, they will say no. Or whether they should trade, to recover yesterday loss, they will still, we all know the answer. We all know. So why are we still doing it? Why? Because the problem is not always about information. Sometimes the problem is character, is our character under pressure. Are we understanding now? So there is a vast difference between knowing what to do and being able to do it when your money is on the line. So we all know what we are doing. We all know what we are meant to do. We all know what we are supposed not to do. But it only reveals who we are. How do I put this verse? Like we know what we are doing. The problem is not always about what we know. It is about what we want to do. So the vast difference between knowing what to do and being able to do it is when your money is on the line, like I said. So anybody can say, I will risk only 1% until they lose 3 trades in a row. Are we getting what I'm trying to say? So anybody can say, I will not revenge trade until they lose $2,000 on their account. And anybody can just wake up and say, I don't care about the outcome of this trade until that trade enter $10,000 in profit and start reversing back to your entry. That is when you will know that you care about the outcome of that trade. Are we getting it now? So this is when you discover yourself. Trading reveal who you are. It reveal the kind of person that you are. So discipline is very expensive, like I used to say. Discipline is a very expensive thing. And when it comes to trading, and see, listen to me. I want to say something that may sound harsh. Discipline in trading is not taught. Let me just you can just put that down. Let it ring a bell. Discipline in trading is not taught anywhere. It is paid for. It is what? It is paid for. That is why tonight I'm not here to teach discipline. If after tonight's class you are still not disciplined, like in your trading career, then maybe nothing else can change your mind again. Because I want to speak to you from a standpoint of reality, not textbook ideology. If you are getting what I'm trying to say, so you can listen to 100 mentors, you can attend 20 webinars, you can read 50 books, or watch thousands of videos, and someone can even sit you down and explain risk management perfectly to you, and you can be nodding your head like lizard 1,000 times that, oh yeah, I understand, but understand something let me just put it this way. See, no amount of things you read or you learn about discipline in trading can change your mind. You can do as though you understand what they are telling you. You can say, okay, but sometimes you have to experience the consequence of your indiscipline before you learn it. So nobody can teach you into it until you experience it. Are we following now? So until you experience it, so that brings me back to my first quote, that discipline in trading is not taught, it is paid for, meaning that you have to lose, and not just lose, but lose because of yourself. There's a different kind of pain that comes when you know that you did this to yourself. Has anybody taken a trade, or like you lost an account and you begin to cry? Adult, a grown ass guy, you lost an account and you begin to cry because there is a different kind of pain that comes with, now me do myself. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you knew you should not enter and you entered anyway. You knew the rules and you broke it. You knew the risks and you ignore it. You know you should not trade and you continue trading. Then you watch the account just vanish like that. That pain teaches differently, because suddenly the lesson is no longer something that was taught. Like, it's no longer theoretical. It's something that somebody picked a pen and jot and started teaching. It's something that you experience. So in Forex, I would say that discipline, it has a price, and you pay for. You're in discipline, you pay for it in dollars. If for people who understand what I'm trying to say, your indiscipline in forex trading, you will pay for it in dollars. By the time you lose 30 accounts, 20 accounts, you know that no, I need to have sense. Are we getting it now? So if you have never lost an account and cried and had a sleepless night, or maybe you cried, an adult cry, you understand, then maybe you should not expect to be disciplined anytime soon. I'll be factual with you. But if you have gotten to a level whereby you've lost an account to a level whereby you started crying, you felt that emotional downturn, you felt like, where would I get the next money to buy this next account? Then you begin to reason, to retrace your step, to begin to follow your set rules by yourself without nobody telling you. Are we getting that tonight? So some of the hardest lesson in trading are lessons that nobody teaches you, that you have to experience. You see, one of my favorite book that I read, I completed a book not long ago, and that book is Psychology of Money. For everybody who care to gain much knowledge, I will recommend that book. Buy Psychology of Money, read that book. The book is very mind shifting, mind transforming. Then another book I recommend is The Disciplined Trader by, is it Mark Douglas or something? I can't remember the name of the author again. Like, read those two books, but read Psychology of Money first anyway. You will really understand this thing that I'm teaching you. So like, there's an idea I love from that book, The Psychology of Money. And one of the deeper lessons from that book is that some things cannot simply be transferred to you through advice. Some things cannot be transferred to you through advice. You know, someone can tell you to do something, and you can understand it. But there are certain lessons that become deeply rooted only when you experience them. So trading is full of those lessons. Someone can tell you don't risk too much, and you will say, yes, I know, I know, I know. Yeah, I know I should not risk too much. Until you blow an account, then suddenly you do not just know anymore. You understand it. That you are not meant to risk more than 1% of your account. So somebody can tell you, don't chase losses, don't chase losses, and you just nod your head and say, I know, I know. Until you revenge a trade, until you revenge your trade, eh, and land your account into a blown account. Are we getting it now? So somebody can tell you money management is more important than being right. And you just nod your head and say, yeah, yeah. Mentor for CFS can coach you now, can tell you now that, oh, well, don't risk more than 20% of your normal account, and just nod your head. But then you risk 20% of your account because you are so confident about one setup. And even though you are told you that don't risk more than 1% of your account, but you saw a setup and you are so there are some I don't, let me not use that word I'm about to use. There are some stupid setup that will look 100% in your eye. Like, you open your trading view like this, you will see those it will look 100% accurate. Everything checks out, and you just feel like, this is the setup I'm going to risk 20% of my account, and those are the setup that will now enter your stop loss. At the end of that trade, you will feel that pain to the brim of your neck. Because you were not expecting. So there are lessons you cannot learn from somebody else's mouth. They can only tell you, they can only educate you about it. But for you to actually understand the depth of that knowledge, you have to experience it. So there are some lessons you insist on learning from your pain. So, like I said earlier, my goal tonight is, which I'm doing already, is to remind you that pain, that pain is to remind you of that pain, right? To help you to learn some of them before the market forces you to. So let's just go straight into the three psychological trap. First of all, let's talk about greed. You see, greed is not always saying, because our ideology about greed is we saying that I want $1 million. Sometimes greed is much more subtle. So greed is not when you want something more than your mouth can chew. No, it's greed sometimes is a small voice. Like, you will not even know that you are becoming greedy already. So greed sometimes can come. Greed can say that, let me just increase the lot size a little. Greed can tell you that, this setup is too perfect. Let me risk more. That's greed. Greed can tell you that I normally take one trade, but I can see another opportunity. If you're the type that takes just one trade a day, maybe during New York session, you can really can tell you to take another trade maybe during Asian session, right? So really can say you made $1,000 today. Let's make more. Let's make another $1,000. That is where the problem starts because there is a point where you are no longer trading your strategy. You are trading your nature. And the market does not care about human nature. So see, human nature will make $500. Then you will want $1,000. If you have been there, you understand what I'm trying to say. Like you will see $500 on your screen right now, and you begin to desire to make it $1,000. So human nature will make $1,000, and all of a sudden you want it to be $2,000. Okay, let me wait. Let me hold on. You to still move. You still move. So human nature, you make 2,000, and now that 2,000 doesn't feel enough again. So the target keeps moving. So this is one of the most dangerous things about money. Like the number that looks like a dream to you eventually becomes your expectation, if I get that correctly. And when your expectation becomes bigger than your system, you start forcing trades. That's when you start forcing trade. So ego on the other side, this one is a danger, is very, very dangerous because sometimes traders do not just want to make money. See, this particular, you see, this particular word ego is one of the things that kills a lot of traders, a lot, even grown traders, because ego will not only make a trader not just to want money, but also they also want to be right. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So is very dangerous because sometimes traders do not just want to make that money, but they also want to be right. And those are two different things. You know, those are two different things. So the market can make you wrong, but your ego does not want to accept it. You will be like, the setup, it has to buy, it has to buy. That's your ego in place. And those, when the market when the market has proved you wrong, your ego is insisting that no, I will not accept this wrong. So you enter a sell and the market starts going up. You should accept that your idea is invalid, but your ego will say it will still come down. The market continues to go up, it continues to move up. So you then move your stop loss, say, oh, no, it will still come down. It will come down, it will come down. You added another position, it will come down, it will come down. You add another position, it will come down. It has to come down. At this point, it has to come down. You are forcing it because your ego has not been trained to accept being wrong. So the like the you are no longer trading. You are negotiating with the market that this has to work based on what I predicted. And the market does not negotiate. Eventually, the loss becomes so large that you finally now closed it in loss. Then you look at the chart and ask, why did I do that? Why? I will tell you why. Your ego could not accept being wrong. And that's very, very bad. It's very, very bad for your trading journey. Very, very bad. So a professional trader should understand that being wrong is not a failure, right? It's not a failure, but refusing to accept that you are wrong is what will drive you to that failure if you are not careful. If you are not careful. So being wrong is not a failure because you are wrong on 2, 3, 4, 5 setup is not a failure. But if your ego is not accepting that this, what you've done, is wrong, then that ego is what will drive you to that failure if care is not taken. So let me just like I was explaining right now that you can be wrong 5 to 3 trades, and you are still, you still accept it that no, I'm wrong. The strategy gave me loss. Because let me tell you one thing, no strategy is 100%. So this is another psychological trap. Some trader thinks, a good trader is someone who is always right. That's where ego becomes on the highest order. So no, a good trader can be wrong and still make money. If I don't know if I'm communicating, a good trader can be what? A good trader can be wrong and still make money. Let me even say, in that same book that I read, that Psychology of Money, there is a particular phrase there that said, you can be wrong half of the time and still be profitable. I don't know whether the word they used was profitable or wealthy. Well, the quote literally said that you can be wrong almost half of the time and still be profitable. So a good trader cannot be wrong. A good trader can be wrong and still make money. Are we getting now? So imagine a strategy that has that wins only about 30 to 40% win of every trade. With a decent RR, you are still profitable. So if your losses are controlled and your winnings are significantly larger than than your losses, you will still finish profitable. So that means the goal is not how do I win every trade. Stop looking for how to win every trade, because that's one of the downfall that cause everybody to start over trading. Once you lose a trade, you want to make the money back immediately. So stop looking for how to win every trade. So make the goal to be like, okay, my goal is how do I make sure that one losing trade does not matter too much, that you know like you should focus on how you can discipline yourself to a level that when you lose a trade, it doesn't matter too much. That's where the maturity kicks in. So the beginner will ask that, where is the strategy that never lose? Where you won't see her? No way. So why the experienced trader we asked, what happened to my account when I lose? That is completely a different question. When I lose this, when I lose this trade, what happened? Okay, I still have 9 more trades left to go, right. I'm not taking any trade. I'm going back to my process. I'm going back to my setup. I'm going back to reanalyze, not to take a trade again without going to TradingView. Because one thing happens most of the time, once you take a trade, you analyze properly that trade on TradingView or wherever platform you're using. You enter your MT5, you click on buy or sell or whatever, and the trade hits your stop loss. One of the things that you do most of the time is that you also know right there where you are sitting right now that immediately that trade is stop loss. Immediately, without even going to analysis or anything, you click on buy or sell blindly, straight up. And that is where the losing streak starts. Immediately you have a losing trade, quit your trading platform, go back to your drawing board, reanalyze before you enter a trade again. So stop looking for how to win every trade. So because let me, I think this should bring us to the next slide where I wrote about loss and mistake. Yeah, good, correct. So you have to distinguish between losses and mistake. And I want you to understand this distinction. Like I said, a losing trade is not necessarily a mistake. Are we getting it now? That's what I was trying to explain in the previous slide before we entered here. After you've gotten a loss, you hit a loss, right? It is okay that you lose. Don't enter trade again blindly. Go back to your drawing board, reanalyze, reprocess that strategy before you get a new entry in a new stop loss and a new whatever before you enter again, because it is still a loss because you took that trade according to your strategy, not a mistake. So there's the difference between a loss and a mistake. A losing trade and is not necessarily a mistake here. So if your strategy gives you a valid setup, right? Like you analyzed everything, and that setup, that strategy gives you your entry point, your stop loss, your take profit, and everything, and you follow the rules. You took the correct position size and you placed your stop loss, but the market hit your stop loss. Genuinely, market can do that, can hit your stop loss, even though after you've analyzed correctly. That is a loss, not a mistake. You cannot hold yourself accountable for that, right? But you take a loss and move on. All right. But but if your strategy said don't enter, then you enter. That is a mistake. Even if it went to your TP, I put it to you that is a mistake. So if your risk model says that risk 22 or 20 or $200 per trade, and you eventually risk $1,000, that is a big mistake. So if your stop loss was supposed to be at one level and you moved it, it's because you want to you moved it because you don't want to lose that money. That is a mistake. So if you lost 3 trades and you then increase your lot size after the next fourth up, or like on the fourth trade, in order to recover all the three trade that you've lost. You've lost. That is a mistake. So stop blaming the market for your mistakes. Stop blaming the market for the mistake you made by yourself. The market gives you a loss, not mistake. You are the one that gives yourself mistake. And mistakes are more painful because you are the one that committed it. Are we understanding? Another thing is revenge trading. So see, this one, let's talk about this one more extensively. See, you lose a trade, close your platform, come on, like, see, one of the things that I do when I was still coming up was that once I lose a trade, once I set my what's it called, my buy limit or sell limit or whatever, I delete my MT5. I delete it. I will not enter, I will not install until the next day. So whether it hits stop loss or it hits TP, it's left to my Apple store and an MT5 wherever in day. I'm not checking. So when you lose a trade, close your platform. Close your platform. You are hungry, like you are angry at yourself because you lose a trade, telling yourself, because now please, very briefly, can we signify that we are all hearing me, please? I want to be sure everybody's hearing me. I'm seeing some notification on my screen. I want to be sure it's not interrupting
Yes,
the.
sir. I'm hearing you.
All right, all right. So when you lose a trade, just come on market, leave the place. You understand? Because now when you take a trade and you lose it, the next trade you want to recover it. That is the first lie you are telling yourself, because now the next trade is not based on your strategy. It is based on your previous trade. You are not looking at the market anymore. You are looking at your loss. And you're not asking, is there a setup there? You are like, what you are risking is like, want to get how do I get my money back, is what you are asking. You're not asking if what you are about to do is literally or actually correct. So those are completely two different questions. The moment you enter the market to recover money, you are no longer trading the market. I put it, the moment you enter the market to recover back your money, you are no longer trading the market. You are fighting your previous loss. Yeah. And the market has no responsibility to help you recover anything. You lose $500, but the market does not owe you that $500. You lost $2,000, the market does not owe you that $2,000. Your job is not to recover money. Your job is to return to your process, reanalyze the gain, and start trading again, not blindly clicking buy or sell after you've made a loss. So let's move on to the next principle. Yeah. The okay, right. We can just maybe get a snapshot of this particular one. It's just like a quote. Your strategy is the Ferrari, but your psychology is the driver. So taking it into a war. Sorry, your strategy is a Ferrari, but your psychology is the driver taking it into a war. Stop changing the car, learn how to drive. Right. So let me just give you a popular what's it called, illustration of what happened recently. Jeffrey Benson, who crashed his what's it called again? I think it's Ferrari too, right? SF90 is Ferrari. So he crashed his Ferrari, not because he doesn't know how to drive, but I think he said he lost traction or something. But we can liken that illustration to this thing I'm about to tell you. That your strategy is the Ferrari, but your psychology is the driver taking it to a war. So stop changing the car. Stop changing your strategy. You only have to learn how to drive. So, and at the same time, we all need to stop looking for someone to blame. All right. We all need to stop looking for someone to blame. No mentor, strategy, or indicator or provider is coming to save you on this. Nobody is coming. So don't bother to start blaming anybody on your own negligence. You have to take full responsibility for yourself. So sometimes the trader can blame the broker or the mentor or the strategy or even the market maker. So like you can say it is the news, it is the spread, it is the spillage, it is whatever, it is the signal provider, it is the internet or the economy. So some even say it is Donald Trump. Some can even blame Tinubu. They can blame anything except themselves. So I'm not saying that those things do not matter when it comes to trading the financial market. They do. But if you are always looking outside yourself for the reason you kept feeling or for the reason you keep feeling, you will never fix the actual problem. At some point, you have to sit down and say, maybe the biggest problem in my trading is me. That is not an insult to you. It's not an insult to yourself. That is the actual good news. See, if the problem is completely outside you, you have a little control over it. But if part of the problem is you, is a good news. That means you can work on yourself. Are we following? That means you can work on yourself. See, let me tell you a little story about my journey. Is E4C on the call also? Let me, because this thing I'm about to say is also involved. Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Please
I can
can
hear you.
please. How many people do we have on the call? I'm only hearing DMJ since I started.
Hello, hello, sir. We are here, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, I think uh okay, I can see him now. Mr. A4C2 is here. All right, good. So let me tell you a little story about my journey. Sometimes around March 2025 was when I had my first payout. And see, that payout there, at the time, it was my first payout then was $11,800 for my first withdrawal on Funded Next. And I can tell you that prior to that, I have lost more than $15,000 in buying prop firm alone. Before I got that payout of $11,800. Of course, Funded Next, your profit ratio is 80 ratio 20, right? Trader get 80%, while Funded Next get 20%. After they removed their 20%, what I got in my Binance was $10,000 at the time. So the 20% was about was it no, my entire distance was, I think, $14,000. After they removed their 20%, that was when I was left with $11,800, $11,800. So I think Rise platform removed about 30% or something. Also, I was just left with $10,000 in my Binance at the time. But prior to that, I've lost more than $15,000 in buying profit alone. See, I did not even calculate how much I've spent on mentorship, because see, this is not a pride, right? Before I started learning Forex, I get money day, right? So to buy prop firm was not a problem. In fact, the smallest account I ever bought was 100K. And if I lose an account today, I'm buying another one the next day. So you can know how much I have blown in buying accounts. So one day I had to sit down. I went to my Funded Next dashboard. I went to my Maven dashboard. I went to my FTMO dashboard, the Funny Peep dashboard. And I calculated all the accounts I have bought from, all of them. And that is when my brain now opened. When you go to all your dashboard, you can see that, okay, I bought 100K accounts on so day. The next week, I bought 200K account. I bought, you calculate all the amount, $500, $200. You calculate everything. And you now realize that what you've lost, man, you have to reset. That was when my brain opened. So majorly, I started trading in 2023. See, I have had a lot of mentors. In fact, my first beginners mentorship program was with Jeffrey Benson's Fire Pips 3 month program. Then I went to another ISMC mentorship program with another mentor, then ICT with another mentor, just open up and down, open up and down. See, at the point, I just stopped mentorship. I'm no longer learning, because when I learn, it seems to like I've gotten it. It seems like I've understand this strategy of a thing. But when I get to the real market, I buy that account. I kept on losing it. So you know what I did? I just stopped looking for mentors to train me on strategy or whatever. I started looking for signal providers, which I'm sure many of you on this call also have experienced those kind of things also. At the point, it just felt like what you need right now is just someone that can just provide me signals. So I started looking for, okay, I just need a signal provider. I was no longer interested in learning any goddamn strategy anymore. So I simply like just needed a place where I can just copy signal and trade and nothing more. And then I was so lucky. That was when I came across E4C, E4CFX. So I texted him on Telegram and I paid for access then, the Telegram, sorry, the Discord access. I think it was $300 or $200 at the time. I can't remember. Then he added me to the Discord channel. You know what I did after that? I'm sure many people on this call too. When you enter your Discord, you are a member of more than 100 Forex channel on that your Discord. More than 100. Like this one mentor, you are on their Discord. All those things are distraction. They will not help you. Because prior to when I joined E4C's Discord, I had a lot of channels on my Discord then. What I did was that I mute every channel. I was still a member. I did not exit their channels because some of those channels are paid. I paid to be part of them. Like I said, I've spent a lot on both buying pro books, paying for mentors to join their group and whatever. So I mute everybody, not just them. Even the Discord group for E4C mentorship, I mute every single room also. You know the only one I left open? The Signal group. I really wanted to see how will I do if I'm to leave the analysis, the entry and the stop loss to someone and just follow their directives alone. How will I do? What progress can I make? I note every single room, both the general rooms where everybody just communicates on the Discord and everything. I muted. I just left just the Signal room open and I turned on notification for just that Signal room on Infosys Discord. And I will not get notification on my Discord unless he had dropped a signal on that group. So every day, once the signal enters, I will set my limit on him. I have no business trading on my own. I have no business. And lo and behold, in just 2 months, I made that $14,000. I passed my phase 1, passed my phase 2. I was sending the message to him as I progressed at the time. So I passed my phase 1, passed my phase 2. I made money. And that was when I realized that I was the problem. I just knew that I can simply follow an instruction. Enter here, exit here. But if I'm to analyze by myself, to wait for that setup, na problem, na war. But when I focus on just taking the signals alone, I was able to do what? To follow that entry. Someone has said, yeah, enter from here, exit from here, close from here, take profit from here. So I knew that the problem is me not following my rules and strategy. I previously learned and all of that. So in as much I can shut out every distraction, that was when I understand that if I'm able to shut out every distraction, being profitable is not going to be issue. So after then, I made my withdrawal and all of that, and that was it. So I just immediately I discovered myself that you don't have any strategy problem. The only problem you have is following an instruction. And if I was able to shut out every distraction from other channels, from other Discord channels, from other room, even within the channels I'm focusing on, and just follow just signals and all of that, I will still be profitable. So that was when I started to learn that if you can be more disciplined, getting a signal from outsourcing a signal, you can be as well disciplined, providing the signal on your own and following that rules. So you have to follow your rules to be able to do what? To maintain your profitability or to even reach that profitability. So you cannot out strategy a bad behavior. You cannot. Our strategy a bad behavior. So you can have the best strategy in the world. Of course, you can. You can have an holy grail, like people call it. But if you keep violating it, it does not matter. You can have a 70% winning rate and still lose money because your strategy can only perform according to the rules you give it. So imagine giving a car to someone who doesn't know how to drive. The car may not be the problem, but the driver is. Sometimes your strategy is that Ferrari that I talked about, but your psychology is the person driving it into that wall. So stop changing that car, but instead learn how to drive, learn how to drive, learn how to drive, learn how to follow that set of instructions, set of that rules. Because strategy, they do not want to confront their own inconsistency. Changing strategy is easier than changing yourself. But you have to focus on that changing yourself. Stop opening on different strategies. So the strategy was right. according to that topic that I'm talking on, but something else was not, which is yourself. Which is yourself. So the goal right here tonight is not to become emotionless. So let me just correct something. People say a good trader must control emotion, and yes, that is true. But I do not believe the goal is to become emotionless. You are human. You will feel fear, you will feel greed, you feel excitement, you feel disappointment, and you even feel anger. So the goal is not to make you never to feel emotion. The goal is to make that your emotion will not make your decision for you. So the goal is my emotion will not make my decision for me. So fear can be present and you will still follow your rules. Greed can be present and you can still close the platform, right? So anger can be present in you and you will still refuse to do revenge trading. So you do not need to eliminate the emotion. You need to stop obeying every emotion. Are we still following? So sometimes social media has damaged the psychology of many traders, right? Okay, I still have time. So social media has damaged a lot of has damaged the psychology of many traders. Like you can see posts claiming that I made $50,000 today, like or maybe I flipped $100 to $10,000. You can say, okay, look at my Lamborghini or funded account passed or another payout or a lot of things going on the forex NG or on Instagram, on Twitter, on everywhere. So like another payout, suddenly your normal progress feels too slow, but you do not see their losing days. You do not see their blown accounts. The emotional damage, so the years of work or the risk, you only see the screenshots and you compare yourself to the reality of another body, of another person. So the real professional trader may look boring, no drama, no screenshot. Every morning, no, I caught 500 pips, no revenge trade, no gambling, just process. The reflex in trading is being able to survive, being able to do what? To survive. So survive, you cannot compound an account that you kept blowing. You should know that trading is a game of is a game of compounding like you are compounding your profit, you're compounding your capital. That's when you're able to do big stuff. That's when you're able to do big things. And you cannot compound an account that you kept losing every 3 market days. You cannot become profitable if you keep resetting your proper account every now and then. You cannot build consistency if your emotional episode takes you back to zero every time. So sometimes the most important goal is not how much can I make? It is how long can I stay in the game? How long can I stay in the game? You know that if you lose this account today, you are going to look for money to buy another account. So why should you lose it? Why should you lose it to now find money to buy another one again? Why should you lose it? So like the goal is how can I stay longer in the game? Trading only rewards survivor. The longer you stay, the more opportunity you get. If you keep blowing accounts, you keep resetting the journey. At some point, you have to stop asking how quickly can I make money and start asking how do I become impossible to destroy? How can I survive? That's what you should start asking yourself now. So, like I said earlier, nobody is coming to save you. And this may be the most important part of everything that I'll be saying here tonight. Nobody is coming to, not even you for CFX, not even your mentor is coming to save you. Your signal provider is not coming to save you. Your strategy is not coming to save you. Your broker is not coming. That your friend is not coming to save you, and the market is not coming to save you. Nobody can control your emotion for you. Nobody can make you disciplined. Nobody can force you to respect your risk management. And nobody can stop you from clicking buy or sell anyhow. Nobody will stop you. Click it, sell it. When you see, there was a time when I kept losing an account, I reached out to a certain mentor. Then I asked him, brother, I kept losing account. Like, what advice can you give to me? You know what he told me? He said, he just smiled. He was like, I have no account to give to you. You see, you will lose account, reach a level that by yourself you will start to to receive sense. That was what he used. He said you will lose an account to a level that by yourself, you will start to retrace back your step that what am I doing? What am I doing? Am I okay? You understand? It will reach a level whereby you lose or blow an account reach. Like you'll be getting closer to your downfall. You said go no one. That's when you start to reason deeply that no, I cannot continue like this. I cannot do what? I cannot continue like this. So nobody can manage or control your emotion for you. Nobody can make you disciplined. Nobody can force you to respect your risk. Nobody can force you to, the responsibility will always come back to you. So that is actually powerful because once you accept your responsibility, you stop looking for rescue and you start looking for solution. So one thing I will leave you with tonight is that stop looking for the perfect strategy. If you have, if I want you to have a deep thought. If you have lost an account more than you should, this is a call for you to start retracing back your step. You cannot keep losing an account if you want to compound. You cannot compound an account you keep losing every day. Every day. Sometimes the market has to humble you before you know it. And I do not mean that negatively. Sometimes you need that moment where you say enough of blowing up. You see, it was when I got to my enough of blowing accounts. That was when I started looking for, okay, how do I discipline myself? I shut out every channel on Discord, turn on notification for just the signal group. I just started, taking it. When I saw that, okay, this is where my problem lies. I can actually follow instruction. I can follow entry, stop loss. Then I stopped. I looked and I started retracing back my step. I see, okay, how can I start trading and follow my own set of rules? So the market will definitely humble you. It will drive you to that moment when you say enough of blowing accounts, enough of revenge trading, enough of trying to double the account in 1 week, enough of changing strategy every 2 weeks, enough of trading because you are bored, enough of trading because you saw someone else make money, enough of trading money you cannot emotionally afford to lose, like enough of trying to prove that you are right, that your ego. Kill it now before it kills you. That ego that tells you that it cannot be wrong, that keeps you to be shifting your stop loss every now and then. Kill that ego now before it kills you. Enough of blaming someone else. Enough. No, there comes a point where you do not need another lesson. You need to take responsibility. Every trader eventually has to reach a point where they say, I am done fighting the market. I am done trying to force money out of the market. I'm done trying to recover a loss. I am done trying to impress people. I'm done trying to prove I'm right. I'm going to respect my process. That's the moment of maturity, not when you make your first $10,000 or pass your first Profim challenge or get your first payout. Maturity in trading is when you can finally sit in front of the chart and say, I don't need this trade. Whatever the outcome is, I'm not shifting my stop loss. I'm not FOMO. I'm not doing nada. I'm just going to follow my rules, take the trade. Whatever the outcome is, I'm good by it. So the strategy was right. So I want us to refer back to the title of tonight's teaching. Like the strategy was right and something else was not right. So maybe the strategy was not perfect. Of course, no strategy is. No strategy is, of course. So maybe it loses maybe like 40% or 60% of the time. Losing 5 trades in a row or experience period of breakdown, that is trading for you. But if the strategy has an hedge, your job is not to sabotage that hedge. Your job is to execute that edge consistently. The strategy can give you the profitability, but it cannot give you discipline. So the strategy can give you the setup, but it cannot control your ego or your emotion for you. So the strategy can give you the entry, but it cannot force you to respect it. The strategy will give you an opportunity, but it cannot stop you of your greed. That is your own job to do. All right. So tonight, right, to I think I have about 30 minutes to clock an hour. So I will just say tonight, I want you to leave this webinar saying that who am I when money is on the line? Who am I after 3 losses? Who am I after 3 wins? Who am I when I miss a trade? And who am I when nobody is watching? When no one is watching you, who are you? Because the person is your real trading system. Your strategy is only the instruction. You are the executioner. Are we getting it now? So my final words here tonight. Let me just leave you with this. The market does not need you. It will still open tomorrow. It will still open next tomorrow. It will still move. It will create opportunity every day. It will create losses, but as it is creating winnings, it will create losses as well. So it will continue doing all of that, whether you are ready or not. So stop asking, how can I make market to give me money? And start asking, how can I become disciplined enough to survive the market? So stop asking which strategy will make me profitable and ask, how can I follow a strategy long enough to let the edge plays out? Stop asking, how can I eliminate my emotion, and ask, can I feel the emotion and still make the right decision? Stop asking, how can I recover the losses, and ask, how can I make sure this loss does not control my next decision? So stop waiting for somebody to come and save you, to come and tell you what you do. Nobody is coming. It is your account, it is your decision, it is your risk, it is your emotion. It is your discipline and your responsibility to take. Sometimes strategy was right, the market was not the problem, the mentor was not the problem, something else was not right. And sometimes that something else was you. But here's the path, right? If you are the problem, you can also become the solution. And that's where it gets fun. So, lastly, I want to talk about risk management. This will be the last thing I want to say, right? See, risk management is a psychological thing. Managing your risk, you are going to risk $1,000 per trade or something, or you're going to risk 2% per trade, 1% per trade. That is the calculation part of risk management. The risk management is a psychological thing. If whatever platform you're using for your risk management, maybe position size calculator or baby pips or whatever, is giving you $1,000 0.5 lots to get $1,000 as your stop loss. That is the calculation based. The psychological part of risk management is, if you cannot risk $1,000 and not, if you cannot put your stop loss at $1,000 and not enter MT5 every seconds to check it, then that is not your risk appetite. I don't know if I explained that clearly enough. If your risk is 1,000 and you are still scared to lose that $1,000, then maybe that is not your risk appetite. Even though that is what the calculation is telling you, that is not yet your risk appetite. So I'll just tell you tonight, on a final note, your strategy was not the problem. What is the problem is yourself. So you have to start working on yourself. You have to start working on your emotion, on your ego. That egoistic behavior of being right every time, you have to kill it. That sense of trying to be right, kill it now before it kills you. So you can be right, you can be wrong more than half of the time and still be profitable. So tonight, I just want you to reflect on your trading journey so far. Reflect on everything that you've encountered in trading, like so far since when you started. Check where the problem lies. You will understand that it is you, and start looking for ways to overcome yourself. For me, some of the things I did while I was trying to deal with myself was, I've already explained the part where I eventually made my first withdrawal. It was a very sweet part of my trading journey because it was so amazing, right? There were times that I simply, each time I have a trading setup, once I set my trading limit or I click buy or whatever, I'm deleting my MT5 or my MT4, whatever the trading platform. I'm deleting until the next day or until the next time I see the next setup. So whether I trade ETP or not, now for my Profim dashboard, I see I'm no before MT5. All right. And again, there were times that I had to go on my settings on iOS, on iPhone rather. There's a settings that is called down screen time, or is it downtime, something like that on iOS setting. That was when I was only trading New York session, there's a way you can lock a particular app on your phone that it will not open, you won't be able to open that app until a certain time of the day. So I knew I'm trading a New York session, but sometimes I want to trade Asian session, which will eventually lead to my loss. And I want to stick to that New York session. You know what I did? I went to that settings. I put my MT5, my trading view. I put them on that downtime settings, and I only put the time that should be open, which is New York session. So if it is not New York session, that app will never open. I think it has a password that it operates by. Just give that password. I just gave that password to someone that, you see, of course, the person is always with me. The person is my partner. I just give the password to the person. If it's not this time and I give you my phone, don't unlock this downtime for me, I beg. And that was it. And when I did that, I had to put some things in place, some system. It might not be all of this that I just gave you. It might be some other things. Just put systems in place that will keep you in check, that will put you on your toes, that will make you to forcefully follow your system. So I believe I've been able to talk to your mindset tonight. I believe I've been able to talk to your inner person about how to reflect on what you've done to yourself so far and how to improve yourself. So thank you very much. This will be the end of my class. So if you have any questions at all, we can use the remaining few minutes to take questions, So I'll be here to also give an answer. So thank you very much. So over to you, Mr. DMJ. So if anybody have a questions, we can ask now while I also give answers to them. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Shegun Olubamiji. We really, really appreciate it. Today was superb, honestly. Like I'm actually overwhelmed by the whole teaching, yes, about the whole psychology and rest of that. We really, really appreciate. So guys, if you have any question, you can actually say it out or still type it.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Basically, I don't have any question. I just want to thank Mr. Shegun because basically most of what he's saying is just like he's talking to me. You know, each and every of us have actually we are actually victim of one of two things he has been saying since morning. Everybody, I'm pretty sure none of us that is here wouldn't have said that they haven't experienced everything he has been saying since morning. I just want to thank him for sharing his light with us. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're very
Thank
welcome, my
you.
brother. You're very welcome.
Okay, so Mr. Shegun, please, can you share that slide again? That first slide, that the strategy, something, something.
Okay.
That
What
beginning.
did I
That's
do?
also-
You can see it now,
Okay.
right?
Yes, I can. Right. So, anyone else, any contribution, any question so far, guys? Mr. Shegun, really appreciate you. Actually, man, will I say there's this of my pastor we do call well, like you have similar character. Like it's more of we want to like still feed more from your knowledge because it's an eye opener. I won't lie. We really, really sincerely. I'm grateful personally. I'm grateful for this. Trust me, I am. So Omoto, you're seeing
Yeah, thank you
anybody
very
else
much.
that wants to ask question? Rafi Adesanya, anybody else?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Okay,
We can
so
hear you.
Mentor Ifosi won't be joining us today, so I'm going to be ending it with a prayer. I'll be ending today's section with a prayer. Okay, Heavenly Father, we thank you for everything. We thank you for giving us someone like Mr. Shegun in our midst. We give you all the glory. Father Lord, keep anointing him. Let your face keep shining on him, give him more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Heavenly Father, what we've learned today, give us that zeal, give us that spirit to always practice what we've learned so far in the mighty name of Jesus. We thank you for always being with us right from day one till now. We give you all the glory, we give you all the honor. As we sleep tonight, sleep with us. Send your guardian angels to come watch over us in the mighty name of Jesus. We shall still be healthy and sound to experience your name, to glorify your name in the mighty name of Jesus. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray.
All
Everyone,
right,
thank
thank
you
you
so
very
much
much. Thank you,
for
everyone.
this class.
Okay.
Really, really appreciate everyone. Thank you so